Hi guys, I'm Vivian, and we are the Group 5. We're going to discuss international business operation. International business encompasses all commercial activities that take place to promote the transfer of goods, services, resources, people, ideas, and technologies across national boundaries. Successful international businesses recognize the diversity of the world marketplace and are able to cope with the uncertainties and risk of doing business in a continually changing global market. There are challenging aspects of international business, and many firms combine aspects of both multi-domestic and global operations. Multi-domestic, a strategic business model that involves promoting products and services in a various markets around the world and adapting the product or services to the cultural norms, taste preferences, and religious customs of the various markets. Multinational, a business strategy that involves selling products and services in different foreign markets without changing the characteristics of the product or services to accommodate the cultural norms or the customs of the various markets. Business operations refer to activities that the businesses engage on a daily basis to increase the value of the enterprise and earn a profit. Business operations evolve as the business grows, and the management should plan to accommodate the changes to prevent glitches occurring in the system. International business operations. It will depend on your industry and the stage your business is in to enter in the international business trade. It provides a number of challenges, offers a wide choice of goods and services to consumers in the international trade, and a higher level of satisfaction of the consumer's needs.
These are the various entry strategies that firms use to initiate international business activities. Exporting. Exporting is a low-risk strategy that businesses find attractive for several reasons. First, mature products in the domestic market might find new growth opportunities overseas. Second, some firms find it less risky and more profitable to export existing products instead of developing new ones. Third, firms that face seasonal domestic demand might choose to market their offerings abroad to balance out seasonal demand in their revenue streams. Finally, some firms might export because there is less competition overseas. Smaller firms often choose exporting over other strategies because it offers a degree of control over risk, cost, and resource commitment. Smaller firms often only export in response to an unsolicited overseas order, which is also perceived as low risk. Licensing. Licensing is a contractual arrangement where the firm provides proprietary assets to a foreign company in exchange for royalty fees. Sometimes it can be possible that a company is not able to export the product because of complex rules and principles or when the transportation cost is high priced. Even though it significantly diminishes the risk for the company and cuts the amount of investment required, the company will have to share their proprietary secrets with an outsider. Licensing can be done for a trade name and not just for product. This type of market entry strategies is appropriate for companies who don't want to commit to international expansion. Franchising. Franchising works well for firms that have a repeatable business model that can be easily transferred into other markets. Two caveats are required when considering using the franchise model. The first is that your business model should either be very unique or have strong brand recognition that can be utilized internationally, and secondly, you may be creating your future competition in your franchisee. Joint ventures. Joint ventures are a particular form of partnership that involves the creation of a third independently managed company. It is the 1 plus 1 equals 3 process. Two companies agreed to work together in a particular market, either geographic or product, and create a third company to undertake it.
Good day everyone, I'm Juliet. Here I'll discuss indirect exporting and importing. Indirect exporting involves export through middlemen. Between the exporter and importer, an intermediary in the exporter's country perform certain marketing functions relating to the export of the product. Indirect way of exporting is equal to domestic sales. It is the process of selling products to an intermediary who will then sell your products directly to customers or importing wholesalers. When looking for an intermediary to help you with indirect exporting, the easiest way is to find one in your own country. There are lots of reasons why our imports is such a big business around the world. Here's the three main ones. Availability. Not every country has the resources they can trade to another country. There are some things you just can't grow or make in your own country. Cachet. A lot of things like caviar and champagne pack more cachet, more of an image, if they are imported rather than homegrown. Price. Some products are cheaper when brought it from another country. Korean toys, Taiwanese electronics, and Mexican clothing, to rattle of a few, can often be manufactured or assembled in foreign factories for far less money than if they were made on the domestic front. Types of import or export businesses. Export Management Company or EMC. An EMC handles export operations for a domestic company that wants to sell its product overseas but doesn't know how. The EMC does it all, hiring dealers, invoicing customers, distributors, and representatives, handling advertising, marketing, and promotions, overseeing marking and packaging. Export Trading Company or ETC. While an EMC has merchandise to sell and is using its energies to seek out buyers, an ETC attacks the other sides of trading coin. It identifies what foreign buyers want to spend their money on and then hunts down domestic sources willing to export. Import or export merchant. This international entrepreneur is a sort of free agent. He has no specific client base and he doesn't specialize in any one industry or line of product. Instead, he purchases goods directly from a domestic or foreign manufacturer. Manufacturer's representative. A salesperson who specializes in a type of product or line of complementary products. He often provides additional product assistance such as warehousing and technical service. Distributor or wholesale distributor. A company that buys the product you've imported and sells it to a retailer or other agent for further distribution until it gets to the end user. Representative. A savvy salesperson who pitches your product to wholesale or retail buyers, then passes the sale on to you. Differs from a manufacturer's representative in that he doesn't necessarily specialize in a particular product or a group of products. Retailer. The tail end of the trade channel where the merchandise marks into the consumer as yet another variation on a theme. Public but an original equipment manufacturer or OEM, then you don't need to worry about the retailer because the OEM becomes your end of the line. Advantages of indirect exporting. Low risk involved with getting started. Export process is relatively hands-off. Increased focus on domestic business while others take care of international markets. Depending on which type of intermediary you go with, you may not have to concern yourself with shipment and other logistics. Disadvantages. Higher overhead costs, which means less profit for you. You are not fully in control of your foreign sales. Lack of direct contact with your customers overseas, which means you may have to do additional research on tailoring offerings to their market. Intermediary could be selling a very similar product which might include directly competitive.
List of the advantages of licensing. Number 1. It creates an opportunity for passive income. If you are the owner of an intellectual property, then licensing it is an opportunity to create an ongoing stream of passive revenues. You don't need to do anything to generate those revenues either. Just sell licenses after developing the IP and you're good to go. As long as the licenses are making money, then you're going to be making money too and you don't risk losing your ownership rights. This payment could last for several years without interruption. Number 2, it creates new business opportunities. A licensee can benefit from this type of arrangement because it requires less money from them to start a business opportunity. They can purchase a licensee instead of outright ownership, then begin to make profits right away. It takes less upfront cash to pay for license. When a licensee can improve upon a product, they can make even more money off their venture. Number 3, it reduces risk for both parties. Licensing is designed to reduce the risk involved in doing business for everyone involved. From a licensee standpoint, there are fewer risks in product development, market testing, manufacturing, and distribution. From a licensor standpoint, there are fewer risks in the selling and service of what is being offered. Neither party is required to throw their own money in these areas to earn profits, which creates a win-win situation for everyone involved. Number 4, it creates an easier entry into foreign markets. When a licensing arrangement is in place, then the licensor is able to get their product into new markets much easier than if they were doing the work on their own. It is much easier to enter foreign markets in this manner, as the license allows for the intellectual property to jump border requirements. That means tariff barriers to entry can be avoided because a domestic company is using the IP. Number 5, it creates self-employment opportunities. Licensing allows people to go into business for themselves. They get to experience all of the advantages of self-employment, such as setting their own hours, while you get the benefits of having someone invested into your IP. From a licensed standpoint, there is opportunity to gain a monopoly over a product or services in a specific territory at a lower investment rate than going alone. For the licensor standpoint, personal IP carries the same advantages as well. It offers the freedom to develop a unique marketing approach. A licensee knows their market much better than the average licensor. The knowledge allows an intellectual property to be marketed in a way that is more attractive to the average consumer. It is a change to expand the reach of a message, product, or concept without actually needing to invest into them fully. Even when a certain elements of the arrangement are pre-planned, there is still a certain level of freedom and control given to the licensee in the management of their business.
Hi everyone, my name is Christelle and I will discuss the disadvantages of licensing. 1. It increases opportunities for IP theft. Once you begin to license your intellectual properties and products, you are exposing yourself to higher levels of exposure. There will be more opportunities for theft, piracy, and misuse because you don't have full control over how the licensee conducts operations. 2. It increases a dependency upon the licensor. When a licensing agreement is signed, then the licensee is taking on all the risk in the arrangement. They are dependent upon the quality of the IP being used to make their own profits. 3. It creates added competition in the marketplace. Many licensors have found that their licensees eventually become competitors in their own marketplace. That creates a difficult situation, as one company or the other stands to lose from the process of selling IP in the same way. For that reason, many licenses include geographic barriers to protect against a needlessly competitive marketplace. 4. It is offered for a limited time. Most licenses are only offered for a limited time. Although that time period may be 5 to 10 years, there is an expiration date which must be considered by the licensee. And last, it could damage the reputation of both parties. When one element of the relationship is mismanaged with licensing, then both parties can see a reduction in the brand reputation of the IP involved. If multiple licenses are offered, then the reputation may suffer globally.